So how in the world are we going to get rid of the fat that we carry around on our bodies? Well, one of the ways in which we know we can change those things up a little bit is really playing with our metabolism, or what I call your metabolic clock. So when you decide that you are on, let's just say, an intermittent fast, where I usually do an 18-6, so 18 hours I don't eat, and 6 hour window I eat. Well, during that 6 hour window, I'm pretty regimented around some of the same things that I eat. One of the ways you can change that and you can burn a little bit more fat is by changing it up a little bit. Sometimes I'll go 24 hours and I won't eat. And then I'll go on to a 12 and 12 fast, where 12 hours I'm fasting and 12 hours I'm eating. But changing up your fasting routines will help you change your metabolism, because your body is smart. It knows what you're up to. The other thing is increasing fiber and increasing good fat in your body. And I'm going to talk more about fat tomorrow, what is good fat and what is bad fat. I'm going to be doing a video on that in the morning. So fiber. So fruits and vegetables, increasing your fiber in your diet will help you burn more fat. And then, of course, if you add fats that are appropriate fats, good fats, it will also help you burn fats, because you end up in a ketone state, especially during your fasting window. If you then move right into eating some good fats, it will help, like an avocado. An avocado is an excellent fat. When I go on a long-term fast, oftentimes I'll break my fast with avocado and maybe some broth. So one thing to think about, protein. It's the hardest thing that I struggle with, is eating protein. Some of you that love protein, if you are adding enough protein into your diet every day, you are going to be able to lose fat. Lose the fat that's in our interstitial spaces, or what we see on the outside, certainly around our middle, but even covering the inside of covering your organs. You'll find fat there that's stored. And so one way of getting rid of that, again, is by eating an increase in your protein intake. The one thing that I've always tell people, when they are unable to lose any weight, say you've gone on a 3 or 4 day fast, which I've done many of those, and you get done, you haven't really lost that much weight, and if that was the reason why you were doing it. I do it for other reasons, for autophagy, basically, because that helps to burn all of those defective cells in your body. And I'll be doing other videos on autophagy specifically. But one of the things is cutting alcohol out. Alcohol is one of the biggest irritators to your liver. And especially when you think about wine, because wine is made up of a lot of fructose, and fructose goes right to the liver and it gets stored there. And the whole burning mechanism of getting rid of the fructose out of your liver is a little bit different than it is when you're trying to burn glucose, which your insulin plays a big role in that. So one of the things is just to not drink as much alcohol, or don't drink alcohol during periods of time where you're really trying to promote your health. So that would be another one. Creating exercise. One of the things that I always think about, because I kind of get stuck in this too, I find that there's certain exercises that I enjoy. Like, a few years back, I was cycling every single day for about an hour, and then I do about 40 minutes of weightlifting, weight training, or strength training. Now what I do is I try to change it up. I am now doing a lot more of the wall and floor Pilates, and a lot of the stretching that's associated with that. And I add weights into that, like lighter weights, maybe up to 8 pounds of weight, and I'll do those instead of going to a gym and just doing strength training. So switching it up. Going for a walk after you've had a big meal is another way of switching up your exercises. I actually took on doing climbing stairs. I live in a condominium development, and so it's a not a real tall building, but it's enough that I can go up 4 flights of stairs and down 4 flights of stairs and back up 4 flights of stairs and down 4 flights of stairs. And then I'll go for a walk. So if you switch up your exercise, then you're fooling your body. Your body is not just getting used to what you've always done. Repetition, I guess I've really said that. You know, anytime we repeat ourselves over and over again, and I was doing that for a long time, repeating my behaviors over and over again, then you'll begin to burn fat when your body gets fooled. And I think we've all heard some of that. Sleep. You know, one of the things I think that we deprive ourselves from oftentimes is getting enough sleep, and we don't understand the importance of it. And when I talk to people that they don't get any sleep, or they don't get much sleep, or they can live on 3 hours of sleep, I want you to think about this. Why sleep is so important. When you go to sleep, melatonin, which is produced in the brain, it increases in the dark, and when the melatonin increases, it is, your brain uptakes it in the pineal area of the brain. And when that happens, you begin a whole process of the brain gets cleansed because the spinal fluid flows up and it flows down. And so your brain gets cleansed, and the other thing that happens during sleep is you detox. I don't know if any of you get up during the night. I probably do it a little bit more now than what I used to. I'll get up 2 or 3 times a night to pee. Well, that is part of detoxing. And so it's getting rid of a lot of the different fluids and toxins in our body that your body doesn't want to keep there anymore. So think about that sleep is really important. I read an article today also on sleep and some of the different types of drugs that we're taking to get sleep. And one of the things I used to do years ago is I would take a Benadryl when I couldn't sleep at night, instead of drinking a glass of wine, to try to get alcohol out of my system. And what they are finding now is that Benadryl is oftentimes associated with dementia. So I would really think about not using Benadryl as a sleep aid whatsoever. Not that I don't feel some dementia, at times I do. And then the other thing I think to think about is eat during the daylight. Oftentimes, maybe you'll eat later on in the afternoon because that's your window of eating, and then you'll eat until 9 o'clock at night. Well, it's already dark, and it's getting dark earlier now. So don't eat in the dark. Melatonin, it starts to increase in the brain when it gets dark out, and that's what helps us start thinking about sleeping. So you don't want to eat during periods of time where melatonin increases, because what does it do? Everything you're eating gets stored into fat. So just some hints about what you can do to really begin to lose fat that is being stored in our body, both exterior, where people can see it and you can see it, but also in the interstitial parts of our body surrounding our organs. So have a good day and get some rest.